concerning the Huduma Bill, National Assembly Bill number 57 of 2021, which essentially has a number of effects on existing statutes. One of them is the Kenya Citizenship and Immigration Act. Some of the key highlights that are ought to be affected by the bill is that the bill intends to cause a change or removal of the office of the Directorate of Immigration Services. The office of the Directorate of Immigration Services is the office in charge of issuing passports and permits for the Kenyan citizens and foreigners who come in Kenya. So the process of issuing passports or residential permits is a multi-agency approach as it is now. The bill proposes to have the permanent secretary to the relevant body in charge of the matter of immigration. We are opposed to that move as Sheria Mtaani, as it has a number of ripple effects. One of it will not be effective to monitor the foreigners who come into the country in the manner that is multifaceted, the manner that ensures there is accountability, and the manner that ensures that there is all the loophole sealed for the persons who are coming to settle in Kenya or have their residence in Kenya. The another effect that is brought by the bill, it is to face off the office of the immigration officers. We understand the immigration officers are employed by the Public Service Commission. They undergo a training, after which they are employed to perform the immigration office services. The Huduma Bill suggests that we shall have NIMS officers in place of immigration officers. That, as Sheria Mtaani, we see it's a manner of departure from the normal focus of immigration officers. These are officers who have undertaken a training. They have been employed by the Public Service Commission. They have a legitimate expectation that their training and their professional qualification will be utilized once they qualify. The bill has not invoked, by way of participation, the Public Service Commission or the immigration officers to ensure that they understand what is their specific role as matter immigration is concerned. So, as Sheria Mtaani, our opinion is, and our proposal to the Parliament is, which we have written as required by the law, that it is not prudent to face off the Office of Directorate of Immigration Services together with the committees that are established. The essence or the reasons why the committees exist, it is to ensure that there are checks and balances in issuing of passports, permits, and all the related documentation that pertains the foreigners. As you understand, the issue of foreigners also touches on the issue of national security, because if we permit foreigners to come into the country without putting them to due diligence in a manner that is accountable, in a manner that is transparent, we shall have influx of foreigners which may affect the security of the nation. So our proposal and our intent, which we have put forward in the memorandum to the Parliament, is that as much as we are proceeding with the Huduma Bill that introduces a number of consolidation that resonates with the Huduma number, it will be important and prudent to retain the Directorate of Immigration Office as a department instead of facing it off together with the committees therein, because the functions they perform, they are distinct, they are special, and they help in curbing the issue of security. They also resonate to the international and regional best practices in matters immigration.
Kimonya has introduced a bill, the Huduma Bill in Parliament. When you look at that bill, while it might be well intended, it has some deleterious effects which, when looked against the Constitution, should provoke any right-minded citizen to think differently. Firstly, one will remember that the very design of our Kenyan Constitution is that it introduces two golden threads that run across it. That is the principle of the sovereignty of the people, and secondly, the principle of devolution as a concept and as a national value and a principle of governance that should influence any person who interprets the constitution or any law, or should influence any public servant wherever they're coming up with a policy or interpreting the law as is. So when looked at in its entirety, one will not fail to recognize that there has been a proposal to consolidate all the powers that are discharged by the Directorate of Immigration Services to a principal secretary in charge of the Ministry of Interior. So what does this do? This essentially means that all the functions that have been exercised hitherto to this minute by the Office of the Directorate of Immigration will consequently be under the responsibility or under the powers or functions of the principal secretary. It also means that as far as the issuance of work permits are concerned to persons who are foreigners and who come to this country, it therefore means that moving forward, if this bill is to pass in its current form, it therefore means that the person who shall only be the responsibility of issuing work permits shall be the principal secretary. This is a complete departure from the current situation as we know of it right now, because as is the purpose or the function of issuance of work permits is essentially a purpose of a committee, a multifaceted committee that has a number of agencies that are meant to ensure that the issuance of this permit does not expose the country, the citizens, or this nation to external exigencies or to external attacks by people who might be masquerading as people who have come to this country to do good, yet they have come with ill intentions. And therefore, when you look at that bill, with the proposal that it tends to eliminate the Directorate of Immigration, it eliminates the committee that is created for the purpose of issuing these work permits. It proposes to remove officers of the immigration and instead come up with the NIMS officers who are supposed to act as it has been proposed in the bill. So we are saying in one voice, as Sheria Mtaani and as a representative of the people of this country, that it is not in order, it does not promote the best interest of this country to have that bill passed in the form that it is. And that is what has informed our writing to Parliament in our memorandum, which suggests a number of suggestions. We have put across to Parliament that in our view, our very considered and humble view, that this does not serve the best interest of this country. And should Parliament, and I'm saying this respectfully, and I am hoping they are going to heed to our call, should they decline to heed to our call or invitation to do away with those amendments as far and to the extent that they suggested, a restructuring or a removal of the Directorate of Immigration Services, then we shall be left with no any other option other than to move the court to stop the passing of that bill in the form that it is. Thank you.
Presented a memorandum before Parliament, and in a nutshell, all we want is that the Office of the Immigration Officers and the Office of the Director General of Immigration Service be retained, so that we can still have personnel that have been already acclimatized to the processes of vetting of foreigners who come to this country. Remember, besides the security threat that these foreigners will likely pose to this country, we have the aspect of professionals who are coming into the country seeking work permits. These are people that we want to have a multifaceted team vet before they are allowed to penetrate into an offering service in this country. Therefore, as Sheria Mtaani, our proposal is that we have a minimalist approach with regard to changes that the Huduma bill or Huduma Act as it will be is going to post to the Kenya Immigration and Citizenship Act.